This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Woo! Hey, voice is back a little bit. What's up with the what's up? Listen, you're probably listening to this or watching this or whatever. However you ingest it and go, man, this fucking dude went an hour and change on this little baby card, 11 fights. They kind of put it together, not the strongest in the world. You're right and you're not, right? So I want to do a recap of UFC 280. I was on the Anakin Forian podcast, and they did a great job recapping it, but I got to do my own. So I was going to put out a separate podcast. Week got away from me, so it is what it is. So I'm going to double up on this. So we'll do a recap. We'll do a life recap before that, because I kind of want to let you guys know what's going on. And then we'll get into the picks, fire picks, slime ball parlay at the end. Card's not the thickest in the world, but man, that main event is fire. That main event, heesh. Listen, so what's up with me? Listen, you guys know I'm an open book. I tell you guys everything. I had COVID 2 weeks ago. Let's go back a little bit. Got two personal things. We'll recap, then we'll pick fights. Sorry, fast forward if you don't want to hear this part. But, you know, this is what I got to deal with, right? And by no means do I have it hard or anything like that, right? I love my life. I'm blessed with, I don't know why I said blessed. I'm lucky to have the beautiful children I have, my wife, blah, blah, my health. Yeah. So it's not a sob story. This is just the week and a half I've had. So anyway, 2 weeks ago, I felt like dog shit. I did a podcast, the Grasso podcast. You heard in my voice. I said, oh, it's just my kid's cold. I got a cold, whatever. Thought it was just a cold. I'm fat. I'm old. Colds are hitting different now, right? And then Thursday, I did it on a Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, I felt terrible. Friday was probably the worst I've ever felt. I'm like at work, struggling. Now, I've been to work hungover when I was a young man. Not when I was a driver, when I was just a preloader. I've been to work hungover. I've been to work kind of drunk. I've been to work through everything. The only thing I can't work through usually is migraines, because those put me on my ass. But I've worked through everything. And I'm at work Friday struggling. I had these big packages to deliver. And I'm not in the best shape in the world, but I am industrial athlete. That's what they call us. And I deliver heavy shit all the time, and it's usually not that big of a deal. I had 50 boxes, 50 pounds each, going to this lady's house. It was her side door, right? No big deal. Do it all the time. After I got done doing that, it literally felt like I ran a marathon. Everything was just fucking, I'm like, what is going on? I was a little nervous. The hypochondriac came out, but I just said, Brian, you're 36. It's a cold, right? Fast forward, same day, wife has a weekend-long show about an hour away. So I get off work. I got the kids. With the kids all day, they're a little sick as well. I'm trying to keep up. I am beat. Wife gets home. I go right to bed, right? Parents call me that night around 11 o'clock. I was asleep for a couple hours, and my mom's freaking out. Stepdad's passing out everywhere. He can't stay conscious. Oh, okay, yeah. They live about 10 minutes down the road. So I fly over there, open the door. He's at the front door of the landing. Can't stand up. Tried to go take a piss, fell on the toilet, busted his nose up, and he's passed out like 3 or 4 times since trying to walk up the steps. So I pick him up, and he's got to take a shit, he said. I got to poop. So I'm like, all right, let's get you to the toilet. So I pick him up. As I get him on his feet, as he's like kind of steady on his feet, he goes again. And it's just like eyes roll back in his head. He's going. So I'm holding him, pick him up. I was like, you all right? He's like, yeah. He not responding to me, passes out again as we're trying again. So that time I was like, I'm going to put him down, call the ambulance. Ambulance come. Low heart rate, low blood pressure is what they did there. And the guys were like, hey, does he have COVID? We're like, we don't think so. So he gave us COVID tests, because that's kind of what they're like, well, we see this in COVID patients. It could be an infection. So they gave my mom and I COVID tests. He goes off to the hospital. I'm beat. So I go, I'm going to go to bed. My mom is okay, even though she deals with stuff, kind of weird. So I go back home, go to sleep. I was like, I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to go see him. Wake up in the morning, wife's got that show an hour away, so I'm with the kids. So now I'm waiting for her to get off to go see him. And he's giving me updates like blood pressure's still low. I have COVID. So he tested positive for COVID. They're still doing other things. So I take the test at home, test positive that Saturday. Okay, wife takes one, she tests positive. So we got COVID, right? And I've had it before. The second time I had it. First time I had it, not many symptoms, lost sense of smell and taste, which sucks. This time, not really. It was all my throat. If you heard it, it was all my throat from the podcast or whatever. So I go over and my mom is technically disabled. She can't drive. She had a stroke many years ago, lost her vision on her peripheral visions, can't drive. She depends on a lot of people to get by. And with her husband, my stepdad doing everything for her in the hospital, she was shooken. Try to get her to stay with me, wouldn't do it. Give her a COVID test, which was probably the biggest mistake I ever made. She tests positive. She spins out. She freaks out. Every day that week, she's calling me, I gotta go to the hospital. And it's like you have a panic anxiety, you have panic issue, you have anxiety, you don't have a fever, you don't have a cough, you're okay, yada yada. But she was just bags packed. I'm going to the hospital. Luckily, I got to talk her out of it. So stepfather, we're communicating. I can't go see him because I have COVID now. Wife can't go see him because she has COVID. I can't take my mom COVID, whatever. So we can't go see him. So throughout the days, it's like, okay, they're checking for a blood clot. They're checking for my heart. They're checking my kidneys. They're checking my liver. They're checking my gallbladder. He's just getting poked and prodded this entire week. And this isn't a guy who he's very private, doesn't like leaving his house. My parents are very homebodies. So being in the hospital at this point for like 3 days is like killing him. So on Wednesday, I test negative. I go to work. My mom had a big freak out. I had to calm her down. So Thursday, I was like, I'm going to come see you Thursday. He's like, okay. Thursday rolls around. He texts me and tells me, hey, they're letting me go. I said, okay, great. I'll be there when I get off work. She'll be there by 10:30. And then he says, my mom's going to come get me, which is weird because she doesn't drive the highway, yada, yada. Okay. And then I get a call from his doctor. And his doctor's like, hey, Brian, his doctor, your dad here, he's saying some kind of funny things. And I just want to know, have you talked to him? I was like, yeah, he texted me, said he's getting released. He goes, yeah, we were going to release him today, but he's acting kind of funny. He's doing some strange things. So we're a little worried, can you come check him out when you get down here? I was like, yeah, sure. So I get down there and he's delirious, right? And, we find out it's delirium. So he's in the hospital. He's got a hospital guy. Now, this is a guy who literally is private, like very private guy, like, double locks the door when he showers. Like my mom and him are together for 30 years, and she has never seen him take a shit before. Now, I don't know what it is with your significant others, but with a house full of women and a house full of girls, we have 2 bathrooms, right? But if I got to go in my bathroom, right? So wife and I are pooping for each other. Kids are coming in, showing me stuff on the iPad. It's the Wild West here. I don't know what it is like in your situation, but my mom has never even seen him pee, let alone take a shit. Super private guy. So I show up and he's walking with a walker, right? So he's not paralyzed, didn't hurt himself. I know he's complaining about the hospital bed hurting his back, but he's walking with a walker. He keeps telling me who dropped it off. Oh, the pharmacy did this really nice, blah, blah, blah. I got to tip the guy and say, and I was like, what are you doing here? The biggest concern was he was hearing voices. He thought he heard his mom's voice. So the doctor told me. So I said, I heard you're hearing voices. That's not normal, man. He goes, no, I was just kidding. And then literally seconds later, he walks past me, ass out, right? Ass out of the gown. Oh, God, the goddamn camera moved. Ass out of the gown. And, sorry, I got to turn that off. Ass out of the gown. And he tries to go into the hallway to the door next door. And I go, where are you going? He goes, my mom's next door. I hear her calling my name. They're having a party for me. I go, no, dude, come on. We got to get you back in. So I bring him back in the room, and he's like lucid. He knows the date. So it's not like a stroke, which was my first guess. And the doctor finally came in, and he's just like trying to tip the doctor for dropping off this walker that he doesn't need. It's like literally Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights who's in a wheelchair. He's like, thought he was on fire. Like he's out, right? And so as I'm there, I'm just on my phone reading about delirium, and the doctor's checking on people or whatever. And then he comes back and he goes, yeah, we think it's delirium. That can happen with infection, because they did find throughout those days, they find that he had an infection in his prostate. His prostate was swollen, a little bit of a bowel infection on top of COVID, even though COVID was out of the system at this point. So he's like extended hospital stays, and he's not that old of a guy, by the way. He's only like 54. He's 8 years younger than my mom. So he's not the oldest guy in the world. So it's just very concerning. And I said, listen, this guy is on so much fucking, I'm not going to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? I'm not an asshole that picks up the phone and goes, well, the internet says this, do this, doctor, right? Doctors are amazing. But I read on delirium, sleep deprivation, which apparently he wasn't sleeping or eating, dehydration, but also medication can make a factor in that. This guy takes so much medicine. It's crazy. Like, he has so many different medications for like migraines and just everything. And then now he's on new medication for the infections that he's on. I'm like, can you please just take a look at his medicine, because he's on a lot of new stuff from his new brain doctor, new neurologist he goes to. He just got added to blood pressure medicine, which he's never had blood pressure problems before. Something's going on, man, with the medication. Doctor's like, we're going to dig into all of it. So That night he met with a psychiatrist. She diagnosed him delirium. And then Thursday, he started getting a little better. They let him sleep a little bit. They cut all his doses. And the doctor called me and said that typically when a man gets to his age, they got to cut the doses. His doses were for some reason increased because older guys cannot handle as much with their testosterone dropping. He's not in his prime anymore, essentially. So he shouldn't be having these high doses of these two medicines. I had the interaction on top of the sleep deprivation, which caused the delirium. So I'm happy to say he's home now. He came home Saturday. He's doing much better. Mom still freaking out. My mom's convinced she's sick. So we're still dealing with that right now. But what a crazy week, because I'm dealing with my mom. I'm trying to get him. I got a family. My parents have 2 new dogs, driving my mom's nuts. I had to take the dogs to the kennel. It was a fucking week and a half, but I'm happy that he's home. I'm happy that he's safe. Nothing majorly wrong. Prostate is okay. It's just enlarged for whatever reason. And the bowel infection is according to his blood work, has pretty much gone away. So, yeesh. And the only thing that got me through that, besides my family, was thinking of fights, because I was so distracted and getting run all over town, wearing thin, that the only thing I could focus on besides playing with my kids was the fights. And I fucking had a great week with UFC 280, baby. Great winning week. 8-4 in my picks. You're looking at the fucking champ now. Beat Timbo, beat Christian on the pick'em pod. I hit some underdogs and do what I do. 2 or 3 out of my locks. Missed the slime ball parlay. Missed my mortal lock with Gamrot. Very surprised with that. We'll go over that. But 2 or 3 of my locks. Hit my send him home. Hit my dog lock. And missed the mortal lock, which is very rare for me. But that blew up the slime ball parlay, which was a 3-unit parlay. So I would have had a nice, better week. But I had 9.7 units. I rounded up to 10. That's a 10-unit event for your boy. Hitting on some stuff. So we'll go over some fights real quickly, and then we'll tackle the big issues. Lena Landsberg, Carol Rosa. Carol Rosa looked pretty good. It was a competitive fight. Lena Landsberg, a little bit older. I was on Rosa, no bet though. Good job for Rosa there. Muhammad Mukayev versus Malcolm Gordon. Mukayev, that is his hype train derailing. Looked good. Obviously, he got the submission. I had him by submission, so and I had that in a parlay with the fight going to the decision. Abubakar Nurmagomedov going to a decision. So hit that little small parlay. So I got lucky with Mukayev hitting that submission at the end of that third there. But before that, he just did not look good. Malcolm Gordon has a chin issue. Why ain't you standing with this guy? I know you're a good grappler, but and you're a young kid and you talk a lot of shit, but man, you got to really step it up. I think he's a talented kid. Not writing him off, but that fucking train, boom, off the tracks. Amar Petrosian versus AJ Dobson. This was a competitive fight. I thought Dobson just needed to go. We all were on Dobson the dog. Or excuse me, Christian had Amar and Petrosian. It was to send him home. Petrosian just doesn't do anything, and Dobson just had chances to go. And his right hand was there, his left hand was there, but he wasn't throwing his left. He wasn't aggressive. His cardio looked good. Didn't really want to wrestle. Very confusing. And then I'm going to say something that maybe the legends of the MMA community, people that really follow the sport, that love, certain things, they might come at me. Mark Coleman is not a good cornerman. Okay, he's not. Or I don't know what his corner record is, but it's probably pretty fucking low. He's calling for feints with 30 seconds left of the fight. Feint. Fucking get it. Feinting. What are we feinting for? Feinting for what? Get a fucking takedown. Land a shot. Throw your left hand. Feinting. Oh my God. Mark Coleman is just absolutely killing me. All right. But Abubakar Nurmagomedov versus Gotsi. We all were on Gotsi. Shit the bed. Abubakar is by far the worst Nurmagomedov. Got in a fight with goddamn Chimaev cage side. Boring decision. Kind of saw that happening. Hit a parlay with Mukayev, so we're good on that. Tubarov got canceled. Volkan Ozdemir versus Nikita Krylov. Man, I thought Volkan had his first round. I was the only one on Volkan's side. Did not bet Volkan. But man, I thought he had that knockout in the first round. Nikita is his absolute nails. Battled back. And Volkan, same old story. He's got no time. What he really should be saying is, I got no gas. Ain't no gas in it. Because that dude faded. I know he had a tough first round trying to get him out of there, but man, put some gas in it, bruh. Because you are slowing down every fight. The cardio has never been there. And it baffles me that you've been in the UFC this long. You're in this division where it's kind of wide open and you have a bit of a name. You fought for the title before. Get some cardio and maybe get a couple wins. I just, props to Nikita Krylov. Makhmud Muradov versus Kyle Borrello. Borrello did what he does. Boring guy. Takes him down. Smothers him. Makhmud looked better than he did against Mirskart, but still there's clearly holes in his game, so got to clean that up. Next up, Bilal Muhammad versus Sean Brady. Got to talk about this. So this is my big underdog hit. I have Bilal. First off, I'm calling out. I wanted to do this on the Anik and Florian. Didn't get an opportunity to. They are sponsored by DraftKings. Hey, DraftKings, okay? Hey, DraftKings. I hit Bilal on a nice little multi-unit straight wager at plus money, okay? So I'm not that displeasured. Not that dishappy. Dishappy? Huh? However, you had a same game parlay, which I love. And it was Bilal Muhammad plus 2,000. So it was Bilal to win, Bilal to have the most significant strikes, the most knockdowns, and the most takedowns. Okay? So Bilal won, and he had the most significant strikes. He won by knockout, so it was a standing TKO, so there was no knockdown. But no one got a takedown, no one got a knockdown. How was that not a push? And they give me lower odds. You threw me up a big L. How is that not a push? You don't give me lower odds. You threw me an L. So I'm not happy about that, but I'm happy about Bilal Muhammad. Again, don't know him personally all that well. He follows me on Twitter. No big deal. Was on his show. Hey, what's up? But he seems like a great guy. Funny, competitive. I love this fight for him. I thought it was crazy. He was the underdog. Super disrespected there. And Sean Brady's a good up-and-coming kid. 15-0, but he's never fought someone like Bilal. They have similar styles. I figured Bilal was going to pressure him like he did. Did not know it was going to come by the hands. Thought it was be more of the grappling. Love the game plan. Love the tenaciousness. Love the toughness of Bilal. The cardio. Always bet cardio. Brady was on his back foot the entire fight. Landed some good counter shots. Bilal walked through the fire. Hunted him down and got that finish. I loved it. Amazing performance by Bilal. He's going to be on with Ray Longo tomorrow night, Anik and Florian podcast on YouTube. So go check that out because Ray's guy won as well. You got to hear from those. And then obviously remember the show with Jason and Anik. He'll be on that. Happy for the channel. He's my Anik and Florian brother channel. So I'm obviously happy for the channel. He won me some money, basically paid for my trip to Vegas, almost. So I owe this guy a dinner. I owe him I don't think he drinks, but if he does, I'll buy him a drink. I'll buy him some food, whatever he wants. Kattar Chikagian versus Amanda Ferrot. Close fight. A little nervous by this fight, but Amanda Ferrot got it done. I think the right person won. Chikagian just was one step behind the entire time. Typical Chikagian fight, decision, competitive. Didn't bet it because I was scared of it, but I did have him a read on Amanda Ferrot. I do like Ferrot, but yeah, you gotta be careful. Gamrot versus Dariush blew up the slime ball. Gamrot. Okay, first off, betting Dariush, I underestimated. This is all on me. I was going to bury Gamrot. This is on me. This is a bad read by me. This is clearly MMA biasy, Regency bias creeping in because Gamrot's fought more often than Benny. But Benny shown good wrestling, but never really defensive wrestling, in my opinion. And man, he looked strong. His hips look strong. He countered well. Gamrot's a big, strong 55er with good wrestling. And Benny Dariush looked great, man. He really fucking did. And pleasantly surprised by that, and Dariush hits hard, and it was a competitive fight. Obviously, I thought Dariush was edging it out, but then when he dropped Gamrot in that third round, I'm like, oh, there goes the slime ball. Can't squeak out a decision here. Gamrot to me fought a little scared of the stand up. I actually thought he'd win by knockout. I didn't bet it. I said it on the Anik and Florian. I thought he could win by knockout. Obviously, I had him as my mortal lock. Had him as my anchor from Ireland. Mianka had him in the anchor of the slime ball parlay, but he failed. Shanked. Huh? I can't talk. But he just was rushing takedowns. He's afraid of the stand-up. Even before he got dropped, he was hesitant. And Benny is not the fastest guy on the feet, but his timing's great. He does have power. But Gamrot's just shooting sloppy singles. You ain't getting fucking a sloppy single on a guy like Dariush, whose cardio held up great. I think this guy kind of got looked over a little bit. I mean, obviously, Volkanovski and Islam's going to fight. I love Oliveira, Benny. I love Benny and Fiziev. There's some fights for him for sure. As long as he stays active, he's been out for a little bit. Let's keep him active. Let's keep him going. But Gamrot blew it up. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Patreon. Everybody DM me on this. Everyone wants to know my opinion. Not really. There's like maybe 5. But I'm a Sugar guy. I bet on Sugar. I bet on him to win by decision, 5-1. I wanted to do knockout. Knockout was 550. I go, well, because I predicted knockout on the Anakin Florian. I thought he could do it, but I'm like, Patreon's so nails, and I'm not getting a better price. If it was like 700, 800, I would have played it, but half of what a decision is, which is more likely. That, that's what I did, and we squeaked out a decision. A lot of people were upset. Patreon's ready to quit. Quit being a bitch. Yeah, I said it. Fuck you. Oh, 2 close decisions. I want out of the UFC. What? Finish people, dude. Right? Aljamain Sterling, close fight. You lost. You lost to Sugar Sean in a close fight. Wasn't a robbery. Finish people if you're so upset. Don't start so slow if you're so upset by his decision losses. I know he's emotional or whatever, and I know it's come out that he wants to leave and all that. Fucking put your big point pants on. Quit crying. Get back in there. You're an elite guy. You're a top 5 bantamweight in the world. You're going to go to Bellator and beat up some guys to get some wins? That's a coward, man. Stay in the UFC. Stay where you need to be. Fight the best in the world. You're on 2 bad decision losses in your eyes. I thought he lost both fights. I said it. I thought Sean O'Malley won. I rewatched it. I think the 3rd round was the clearest O'Malley round. He pieced up Jan in that 3rd round. He took some shots, gave Jan shots. I know he got taken down, but he got right back up. Jan did fuck all with those takedowns. 2nd round was a Jan round, but it was a Sugar because Sugar stumbled him. And then Sugar got caught by Jan, and then Jan was on top most of that round. So you're going to give him Jan. The 1st round was very close. Jan went for some takedowns a little bit, but Sugar was doing the stand-up. If you look at the significant strikes, Sugar had more. He did more damage. Takedowns to me don't mean all that much. If I'm on a street fight, yeah, I'm doing the street fight thing, and I hit a guy 15 times, bop, 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 bop. He takes me down once. I stand right back up. He's bleeding out of his face. They call times. Does he win? Does he fucking win that? Because he took me down? No, fuck no. No. The problem is people thought Sean was so out of his element. Barking off more than he can chew. He's a little bit of a clown. He's got the clown hair. People don't like his style. But what people fail to realize is he's extremely talented. I don't think that was his best performance. I thought he got it done incredibly close. Of course, I had money on it. Of course, I'm going to back my guy. So I'm a little biased. But if I can admit that, I can look in this camera and tell you I'm biased. The people who are scoring at 30-27 Jan, you look in the mirror and tell me you're not biased towards Sean. 30-27 is egregious scorecard. It was a close fight. There's no robbery to be had. If Jan won, you wouldn't sit here and hear me say robbery. It was close as they come. I thought Sean won the 3rd. I thought he won the 1st. I thought he could have won all 3 rounds until he got clipped in that 2nd. Competitive fight through, but the main point is Sean belongs. He's ranked number 1, which, again, I get it. You beat the one guy, you take that number. I don't know if he's ready for Aljo just yet because of the grappling. I'd love to see a Sandhagen matchup. I would love to see the Cheeto Vera rematch. That'd be fun if Cheeto doesn't get the shot. I think Cheeto deserves a shot. Speaking of Cheeto, how do you not love this fucking guy? This dude, been in UFC forever, is on a crazy run right now, and he's looked phenomenal. Should be calling for the title shot from the rafters. He wants one. He says it. I'll fight anybody. Aljo kind of called him out, and he responded in kind. But he goes, I don't think Sean won the fight, but he deserves the title shot because he beat the number 1 guy. There's not many fighters that are doing that. That is some self-awareness, and I love that shit. The same thing when after he beat Dom and Cejudo's coming back, you're like, do you think Cejudo's going to jump the line? He's like, I hope not. I think I deserve it, but I understand if he does. I'll get another fight in the meantime. Like, that is some self-aware stuff. Most guys are like, I'm sitting out. I deserve titles. I'll sit out for a year and a half. Fuck you. I earned this. And I think Cheeto has earned it, but he's like, this makes sense. I mean, what am I going to do? He's willing to fight anybody. I love that. I would love if Cejudo got the Aljo fight, which would make sense, even though I think he got really out of shape, even though Cejudo's great. I think he might need a tune-up fight. But if he doesn't, him versus Aljo, and then Cheeto versus Sugar, and put that on the same card. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. All right, and then we got I gotta address it. So on the Pick'em podcast, I almost made a clip and posted to social media. I didn't because I love my guy Christian. Christian took this loss hard. He had Jan on like every book of his. He plays 4 different books. He was all in. He betted his gorgeous hair, which I did not want him to bet. If you've watched the tape, I said, I don't want your hair. I just want your money. And he was very confident in Jan. And I understand that the decision is going to be hard because I can see how people can score 29-28 Jan. I can. Everyone has a different opinion. It's very subjective. I understand it, right? He had a lot of money. I don't like seeing my friends lose money. I'm not going to stomp on his grave. I'm not going to be like, I told you so. Because he lost money. And I want my guys to win, for sure. You know, even we're on opposite sides, I want my guy to win. Christian is a guy who I met via this podcast. He was just a fan. I hate saying the word fan, but he was. Reached out to me on Twitter, and I just love the guy. We vibe really good. And I've never met him in person. And then we do the show, and he's like one of my favorite people ever. Like I want him to be my friend for life. I want to like fucking, you know, when him and his wife have kids, I want to do family vacations together and fucking have a blast. Like I like that guy so much. The same with Timbo. Timbo reached out, same situation. You know, he's having a kid in December. I'd love to go on vacation with him and his lady. And, you know, our kids play together and just be dads and, you know, corny shit like that. But Christian took it hard. He hasn't responded to the group text. He said, listen, I'm not betting MMA this week. If you don't hear from me, you know, and I don't like seeing my guys down bad. So I'm going to say it here on this podcast. Christian's a man of his word. He you know, he paid me right away. He's a man of his word. I don't want the Hulk Hogan haircut. I never offered that up. I know immediately after Jan lost, I got a ton of messages saying that you boys better cut his hair. I don't want that. Christian will probably do it anyway because that's the kind of fucking guy he is. But honest to God, I don't want to see it. I love his mullet. I love the burn sides. The guy's got the best facial hair in the game, and I don't like seeing my guys down bad. This might be the dumbest thing to say. I kind of wish we weren't, I was going to say I'd rather lose than have my friends win, but I don't know if I can say that to be honest, because I want to be honest. But I really, it's neck and neck. Me winning and my boys losing are like right there. I wish some way we both could have won. We just happen to be on opposite sides there. So shout out to Sean O'Malley. I scored it 2-1, and I scored it from my bank account, so fuck you. Aljo versus TJ, another controversial thing. What do you think TJ should have done? This and that, blah, blah, blah. So number one, I tweeted out, and I stand by this, Aljo would have done that to a healthy TJ. For sure. Would he have finished in the second round? I don't know. But he would have taken TJ down every single round, smothered him, make TJ work to get back to his feet. TJ, even on the feet, before he blew his shoulder out, looked a little off because Aljo's so funky. Literally, this is how he moves. And he throws punches and kicks. His kicks are just as fast as his punches. And TJ couldn't get his rhythm, and then he got taken down, blew his shoulder out, whatever, right? Aljo does that 10 out of 10 times. TJ Dillashaw never beats Aljo. He's never fought a guy like Aljo. Look at his record. He's got great wrestling. Aljo's a monster at 135, and that is his specialty. Come at me in the comments. TJ doesn't win that fight. TJ fought admirably. Now, here's what people are saying. I saw it on the Anakin Florian comments. Fuck TJ Dillashaw. I feel like I wasted money because of that. You knew... And, you know, other people should have stepped in if you knew in April. And listen, I understand those sides of the stories. I understand he hurt his shoulder in April. TJ's an absolute dog. Said, I'm going to fight through it, whatever. But here's what it comes down to for me. TJ Dillashaw has a family. He's fought once in 3 years. Got suspended, got fined for 2 for the EPO. That's his own fault. Came back, fought a Sandhagen, won, close fight, won. Had to have another surgery, out another year. Now he has to have another surgery, which he knew leading up to this fight when his shoulder kept popping out. Oh, I'm going to need surgery on this, right? But he decided that I need to go through this because I'm 36, might not fight for the title again, and I think it was a money play for him, right? Kenny said it best. Kenny's like, if TJ pulls himself out, they're not going to skip him. He's one of the biggest names in the division. If he pulls himself out in April, they give someone else, a Cheeto or whoever, the opportunity. And then when he's healthy, he'll skip the line because he's TJ Dillashaw. 100% right. But I think TJ needed the money, needed the payday for his kids, for his family. And I think we all can appreciate that. I know I can. Again, I'm not a professional fighter. I had a really bad toe problem when my wife was pregnant. And it was like I had to work through it because I was like, I can't miss work because I want to make as much money as I can so she can have as much time off and yada, yada. And my toe was screaming the whole time. I'd have surgery on it and like outpatient surgery. But there were times where I'm like, I'm going to get it done now and be off for a week, whatever. And I didn't because you go through certain things for your family. And I think that's what TJ was doing. And I can't speak for him. Maybe he's set up money-wise. Maybe this was just a pride thing. I understand the two sides of the coin where people are like, oh, I feel like I got robbed. He knew this was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And this is why, then the perfect example why fighters can't bet now, because if someone got wind of that, then they're hammering Aljo. And then people are like, well, why is this line so off? There's a lot of moving parts. I get it. And I could be on the wrong side of this. I'm just thinking financial situation with fighting one time for 3 years. And he's getting a big paycheck fighting because of the name of the former champion. And it's a title fight. You're going to get a bump up as well. So I got to think that, but regardless of that, Aljo looked phenomenal. Him and Cejudo back and forth. Fuck Cejudo, by the way. I like Henry Cejudo. The cringe stuff doesn't bother me, but saying Aljo, saying I'm going to bring the belt back to America. What? Aljo's from New York, bro. What's more America than being from New York? Maybe Chicago, maybe the Midwest, but what's more American than being from New York City? I mean, I know he's from Long Island, whatever. Bringing it back to America? Shut the fuck up, fucking Cejudo. Love Aljo. Can't wait to see what Ray says on Thursday. And then the main event, Islam versus Charles. Kind of saw this fight exactly how I had it. If you rewind the tape, I said Islam was going to submit him, and that's what he did. It looked good on the feet, showed toughness, something I didn't know he had. Oliveira, he's a great offensive submission expert, but he's not great defensively. He's been submitted a bunch of times, and when he felt Islam and realized that Islam dropped him with his hands, which no one saw coming, he's like, I'm in some real trouble here. And then Islam's like, because when he got dropped in the past by Poirier or Chandler or whatever, they're like, get up, come on up. Islam's like, fuck you, I'm coming right in your guard, I'm going to submit you. And that's what he did. Islam's going to be a problem. Him versus Volk is what's probably going to happen in Australia. I love the call out. I love the fight. Volkanovski's a guy who I've doubted a lot. And this guy looked right at the camera and said, I am hard to hold down. I am hard to get down. And if you get me down, I stand back up. So we're going to have to stand up in that fight because I do not think he can hold me down. Now, Islam holds everyone down. He dominates on top. That is something that I can't question fucking Volkanovski because he's proven me wrong every goddamn time. The guy's a fucking stud. All right, 33 minutes in. Now we're going to do the pick. Let's go. Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. Great main event. Card itself is a little... Got the slime ball queued up. I didn't forget it this time. And I'm going to do my locks at the end. I'll give out my locks at the end. I didn't have enough time to make graphics for those. So maybe I should just do it on the fly. Maybe. I don't know. I just want to make sure I give out the slime ball lock. Sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes my brain's like, First fight of the night, boys. We got Josh Weems plus 290 versus Christian Rodriguez minus 350. This fight came together a little last minute. I believe these are some Contender Series boys. Christian Rodriguez, I believe, is a Duke Rufus guy, young kid. Looked good in the Contender Series. I don't think he got a shot right away, and then he came in on short notice. Didn't get a shot right away. Beat Junior Cortez, Tracy Cortez's younger brother. Looked pretty good. Beat Ryan McIntosh outside. 19-36, Ryan McIntosh. Yeesh. Lost the decision, Jonathan Pierce. Nothing wrong with that because Jonathan Pierce, absolute stud. I mean, we're talking stud grappler. Christian Rodriguez, a big number here, minus 350. Are you going to lay to 350, Brian? This is a parlay piece. I'm going with Christian Rodriguez here. Joshua Weems. Listen, there's a couple Weems on the west side, and there was a Weems on the Ultimate Fighter, I believe, Tough 5. I feel like the last name Weems, you're never going to win an MMA fight. And if your last name's Weems, I'm sorry, I don't think it's a bad last name. I mean, my last name's Peachy, for God's sakes. But I just don't think Weems are winning MMA fights. That's my cap for this fight. Name another capper that's coming on here and saying, I'm not picking this guy because his last name is Weems. That is one of the reasons why I'm not. Also, this could be a crapshoot. Both young guys. Weems making his debut. Rodriguez coming off a loss, but he looked pretty good against Jonathan Pierce. Didn't get finished in that fight. Young kid. Duke Rufus raised about him. Good stand-up. Takedown defense is obviously work in progress. Coming from the Rufus camp. You better have a good guard because your takedown defense isn't going to be that great. I just think he's going to be better than Weems here. I think he's literally just better everywhere. I could see a finish happening, but I don't know enough about both guys. I didn't tape this like I should have. Just because I saw Weems was like, oh, immediate loss. Immediate loss. Next up, Cody Durden versus Carlos Molta. Molta's a name that a lot of people like. Coming from the LFA, I believe he's the LFA champ. Has one loss to Charles Johnson many, many moons ago. Well, 2022, not that many moons ago. Coming off 2 finished wins in the LFA. Look at his record: 2-0, 9-3, 3-2, 2-0, 4-0, 6-1. Lost Charles Johnson 10-2. 5-8 his last time out, 12-3 against Rizal Vibov. So his last time out, he looked pretty good. He's going against Cody Durden, who I know is kind of like the shit bag of the division. People don't like this guy. Apparently, he's got some, I don't want to ever label anybody racist, but I think he said some shit, maybe anti-LGBTQ. What is that? He just said some stuff that people didn't like, and so a lot of people don't like the guy. They're like, I don't like this guy. Fuck this guy, right? However, he's okay. He's not bad. He's coming off a knockout win, which he's not much more of a knockout guy. He's more of a get you on the ground and scrap guy. He's tough. I know he got submitted Mokaev in the first round. In the first round, 2 fights ago. But listen, plus 145 is interesting. It's an interesting number. But I mean, I avoided I didn't avoid tape. I looked at tape of Mota, and I think this kid's good. Short notice, big shot here. This is a tall task. I'm going to avoid this fight. That's what I said, avoid, because I writ down avoid. Avoiding at all costs. This is a no bet for me. But I'm picking Mota for some reason, right? I like his style. I think he's better than Durden, but Durden's just scrappy and sometimes just knows how to win. He is a good grappler, and Mota's is a little more better on the feet. You know, he's powerful on the feet, but short notice, he could fade. This is a big time now. He's fighting a guy has proven to be fairly durable. I mean, he's not the most durable guy in the world, but, you know, this is a tough fight. That's why I'm passing. I'm going to go Mota. I'm not confident about it. Not putting this in a slime ball parlay or any fucking thing like that. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Dern pulled out a fucking victory here. I sound like goddamn Luca Fury. Make a decision, Brian. I'm wavering. That was a wavering pick. I apologize for that. I don't like the fucking waiver. Chase Hooper, minus 260 versus Steve Garcia. So Steve Garcia, this guy burned me last time out. Plus 220 for Steve Garcia. So listen. I said, and I've said it numerous times on this podcast, I will never bet Chase Hooper over this number. He seems to balloon up to be favorites quite often. I remember this guy losing to Steven Peterson, who was not a very good fighter. At least he was not a very good UFC fighter. His last time out, very scrappy fucking grappling exchanges. He's obviously pretty good on the ground. He's stronger than he looks. Garcia wants to keep this on the feet. Good leg kicks, decent stand-up. But Chase Hooper just finds a way to get this fight to the ground. And he finds a way to let people or make people fight really dumb. Minus 260 is terrible. I'll never get to the point where I'm betting Chase Hooper minus 260 no matter who he's fighting. He could be fighting a fucking broom. And I go, well, fuck, man, a broom. You know, they're pretty hard. You know, they got the, you know, fucking things, you know, I don't know, 260 on a broom, that's tough, right? There's a broom nose neck. How is he going to choke it? So I can't get there. I can get there probably by sub, but another fight I'm going to avoid. This fight's got this fight card's got some landmines. You got to fucking really be careful navigating through this. Slime ball parlay was really tough for me to pick. I don't know. I'm not confident in it, which means it's going to fucking win, but now it won't because I said that. But I'm going to go Chase Hooper here. I've bet against Chase Hooper enough. I think Steve Garcia burned me last time. I think he's not an intelligent fighter. I think if he keeps on the feet and just blasts Chase's legs, Chase is aggressive. He's tough. He's got a lot of heart. Pretty good on the ground. He's really good in the scrambles. He's hard to hold down. He's got, you know, and he's getting better. He's sizing up a little bit for being a long, lanky kid. But Minus 260, you're never going to get me there, but I'm going to pick Chase. And I advise you that if you're a Hooper fan, if you're a hoopster, go sub instead of money line. Pick them by sub, which will probably, well, not probably, it's going to be way less than minus 260, maybe even a plus number, or possibly by decision too, because, Steve Garcia is probably training and not get subbed here, but is what it is. All right, Joseph Holmes, ugly Joe Holmes, plus 200 versus Jung-Woo Park, Iron Turtle, minus 240. Now I said 240. Ugly Joe Holmes, not an ugly guy. That's just his nickname, right? So you got to have a lot of confidence to be going by ugly. You obviously got that nickname by somebody. He's a good looking guy, right? But he got that nickname. It's like being a huge guy in prison. You're called tiny, right? But you got to have a lot of confidence to be rocking ugly and just be proud with it, right? Like, that's my nickname. Jung-Woo Park, Iron Turtle, one of the better nicknames. And this guy's just, he's fun to watch when he's losing. He's not fun to watch when he's winning because he just doesn't do enough for me. His stand-up is his grappling's okay, but he somehow finds a way to win because he's so goddamn tough. Joseph Holmes really shit the bed against Jamie Pickett. Looked good his last time out. But that Jamie Pickett fight keeps coming to mind. Plus 200, something I'm not going to get to on Joe Holmes. I don't want to risk an underdog play on Joe Holmes. I'm going to go the Iron Turtle. Again, minus 240. You're probably looking at possibly by decision would be your best bet in this fight, in my opinion. So get Iron Turtle by decision, minus 240. I don't love it. I like it. This is something that I thought about quite a bit, this fight. Some people I see are going to put money on Joe Holmes, and that's fine just because of the way Iron Turtle, Young Park fight. But I think Young Park just could be a little bit better. But Joe Holmes is big. He's 6'4". He keeps that fucking reach out there, man. Keeps those lungs out there. It could be a problem for the Iron Turtle, but he's fought tall guys before. Don't waver, bitch. Don't waver. No wavering here. I'm gonna stick with the Iron Turtle. Heavyweights, the big boys. Little podcast juice. My phone has been going off nonstop. My brother-in-law called me for some reason. I don't know why. Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why my brother-in-law's calling me. Anyway, plus 190, Andre Arlovski. Rodrigo de Lima, minus 225. This is crazy to me, this line. Arlovski's coming off a couple close fights. Arlovski's 110 years old. Arlovski's been knocked out. Not a while, but he has. De Lima throws sledgehammers. No cardio, even though he has gone the distance and he's looked okay cardio-wise. But sledgies, bro. Just right? De Lima's a lot better than I give him credit for. He's hard. He's strong. Hard to get to the ground. I think on the ground he's a fucking fish out of water. But fucking good luck trying to get him there, right? And I typically fade Arlovski because I think, he's got a chin problem. He fights safe. He's this. He's that. But he's been looking good. And his chin's been there. And his speed is there enough. Arlovski, who has a Sambo background, used to submit people back in the day. If he decides, which he won't, to grapple a little bit, try to get this big fella to the ground, arm triangle choke, leg lock, something that he's really good at, or was good at, this could be a really good fight for Andre Arlovski. But I think it's going to play on the feet. And my asshole's going to be puckering the entire time because I'm going dog shot here. I'm going Andre Arlovski plus 190.
Hello?
Okay,
this is Dog.
Okay, that's a dog. Dog shot here. Andre Arlovski plus 190. That's too good of a number to pass up on the bet like this. If he cannot get hit by De Lima, and De Lima has good timing and is fast for how fucking big he is, if he can avoid those big shots, especially in the first round, he could take over the fight and he can win a decision here. Andre Arlovski by decision is my play here. He's not going to knock out De Lima. I would love from the clouds an Andre Arlovski submission. Real throwback. Don't think that's going to happen, even though I think that's a path to victory. But he's not the smartest fighter in the world. He wants to stand up with people. Give me Arlovski here. Plus 190. Surprised by that line. That's a value boy play right there. I don't know if Timbo knows that line. Timbo is an Andre Arlovski fan. If he knows that line, my guy Timbo's running to that window. Next up, love this fight at 185. Roman Dolidze, plus 145 versus Phil Haas, minus 170. Good old scrap here at 185. Roman Dolidze coming off a knockout win over Kyle Dawkins, which was a little surprising. Roman Dolidze, good grappler, powerful hands, but striking just kind of all over the place, right? This dude, hey, got to bring it up, but, he stole JP Bates' wife right out from under him. So, Dolidze's got a little bit of that juice. I think he's going to be carrying that juice in this fight. I'm going another dog here. Going Dolidze.
Okay, this is dog.
Okay, that dog. Phil Hawes, to me, I pick against Phil Hawes a lot, man. And he looked great against Deron Winn. I picked against him in that fight as well. The chin, man. The chin is just an issue for me. I think he's incredibly athletic. He's not getting any younger. His stand-up is starting to get really tight, nice. He looked great against my guy Chris Curtis in the first round. In the beginning of the first round. Looked great against Deron Winn. Hurt him with everything. He's a big, strong guy at 185. But the chin, man. And Dolidze's a big 85er. Can crack and can grapple. Hawes isn't going to grapple this fight. I think Dolidze might try to grapple, try to slow Hawes down. He has slowed down in the past. Going to be a fun fight here. But when you're hanging me plus 145 against a guy who's chinny, against a guy coming off a knockout who's obviously got that juice, you know what I mean? I got to rock with the underdog here. So I'm going underdog again with Roman Dolidze. I really like that fight. I'm interested to see how that fight plays out because if Phil Hawes runs through Dolidze, we got a problem on our hands at 185 because I think the kid has all the intangibles to be great. It's just that chin is a problem. But Andre Arlovski fixed his chin. Maybe fucking Phil Hawes can fix his. All right, Dustin Jacoby. I always say Justin, not today. Minus 170 versus Khalil Roundtree. Plus 145. Gave this breakdown on Anakin Florian. And I talked myself into Jacoby. It was very hard. And I've talked myself into loving Jacoby. So I'm going with Jacoby here. I just think he's cleaner everywhere. I think Khalil is going to come out hard, throw big kicks. And I don't know if that's going to phase a guy like Jacoby who has K1 kickboxing experience. He's been in there with some absolute studs. He's been in there with Pereira, got knocked out, but he's been in there. He's seen some of the best in the world. Khalil is a different animal. Muay Thai, Thailand, Khalil is a different animal. But the cardio, I still think is in question. In the Pragnell fight where a guy chose to stand with them and Khalil didn't get off what he wanted to get off, he faltered and he lost. That's what I think is going to happen. I like Jacoby here by decision. Kind of love him. Slime ball candidate as well. And I like him maybe by late finish, like third round finish or something like that, because Jacoby lately is prioritizing finishes, and he definitely can do it. He's a big kid for this division as well. But right now it's going to be decision. Jacoby, again, slime ball candidate number one, a fight that I'm actually confident in, which again, I was confident in Gamrot. So what the fuck do I know? Trishan Gore, plus 135 versus Josh Frim, minus 155. So this one's tough because everyone's fading Gore because he looked like complete shit as times in the UFCs. What's his record? He's 3-2. Was his Ultimate Fighter prodigy, got hurt, made the finals, got hurt, couldn't do the finals, came to the UFC, and has looked like dog shit. His chin has looked questionable. Frem, LFA guy, debuted against Fluffy Hernandez, which I had Frem in that fight. Fluffy just did what Fluffy does, looked amazing. Christian and I actually disagreed a lot on that fight, and Christian shoved it up my ass, right? But I think Frem is a very good fighter. I think he's tall, he's lanky, and he's explosive at times, and he's got a lot of knockouts on his record. He got a couple submissions as well. Gore is super explosive and can unload anytime. Frem, his biggest issue is he's hittable, right? RoboCop got him in the LFA for the title, and Hernandez got him on the feet as well a couple times. Hernandez's fight was more of a grappling exchange, but minus 155 in Frem scares me just a little bit, even though I was confident on Frem, so I can't waver. I got to trust my eyes. I got to trust these, and I'm going to go Frem. I think he can catch Gore. I think knockout's a fun number. Gore, it could have been a fluke, but it looked like his chin was absolutely gone the last time he fought, just not there. Not gone. He's only got 5 fights, but he doesn't throw enough. He waits to explode, and the explosion's great. But when you got a fighter like that and you're getting hit 15 times to throw your one and your one doesn't connect, you got 15 more coming back at you, and one of those is going to catch you. Unless Gore changes his style completely, he's losing this fight. I like Frem here. Almost put him in the slime ball. He's not going to be in the slime ball. I'll tell you that right now, just because doesn't have a UFC win yet. A little nervous about it. And I've learned my lesson on that in the past. So Cortez Acosta versus Jarrett Vanderaa. Costa, these numbers are wrong. God, I had to make one mistake, didn't I? Old mashed potato brains Brian had to make one mistake. On the screen, Costa is a minus 195 favorite. Vanderaa is wait, hold on. Is it right? It's right. Oh my God. So again, potato brain, mashed potato brain. I was wrong again. So then it is right on the screen. For some reason, I thought it was a plus. Anyway, Acosta, minus 195, Vanderbilt plus 165. Jader Vanderbilt might be one of the worst guys in the heavyweight division. He's durable. He's tough. He's fighting a guy who is super inexperienced, come with the Contender Series, former pitcher, and he throws his right hand like a pitcher, right? Athletic is all get out. But Vanderbilt's path to victory here is to take you down and pound you out. But he's slow. Someone gave him a black belt. That guy should be in jail. But Acosta, I think athletically is just going to be too good, too big of a right hand. It's come down to cardio because Vander is fairly durable unless you get him on his back and then he's a fucking fish out of water. But again, he's a black belt from somebody. Give me Acosta here. I don't like the huge number though. I like him by knockout. I'll play by knockout, but I'm not getting a 195 for a guy making his UFC debut who is very inexperienced, who's fairly new to MMA, I guess. But give me Acosta. Heavyweights are tough for me anyway, so I'll bet the knockout, but that's it. I ain't touching anything else. Timmy means business, baby. Dirty Bird versus Max Griffin. Means plus 160, Max Griffin minus 190. Picked this on the Anakin Florian as well. I'm sticking by it. My pick was Max Griffin. I just think that he's scrappier, and I hate saying that against Tim Means. Tim Means is so good in the clinch. Max has got to be careful, but Max is big, strong, a little bit younger. Not a young kid. He's 36, but he's younger than Tim Means. I think he can just push the pace everywhere and really slow Tim down. Tim isn't known for his like great cardio when he's getting put on his back foot. I think this is going to be Max pushing forward, watching out for all the fucking tricky stuff Tim does, and then boom, just slowly taking the fight away. Max Griffin by decision. I don't think he'll finish Tim. I don't think Max is that great of a finisher. His striking has looked pretty good. He's got really good straight punches. Tim has been rocked before. His chin is a little bit of an issue. But I'm going to go Max Griffin here at minus 190, probably by decision. I don't hate the number at minus 190. I understand it. I understand if people are going to play Means as well. Very competitive fight. Fun fight for a thin card. Co-main event. Timmy Means business. Dirty Bird needs to get all the love he gets. I love the guy. He's been around forever. Now the real main event, which is the real main event. Unbelievable fight. I love this fight. I had this fight circled. I like both these guys. I have doubted Arnold Allen. Calvin Kattar plus 100. I just looked just a second ago. Not a second ago. 52 minutes ago. He was minus 105. It was a pick 'em when I picked on Anakin Florian, both 110. Kattar was a small favorite, or small underdog, but pick 'em. And I got these lines yesterday, and he was plus 100. So, lines are moving, babes. Lines are moving. Arnold Allen, 9-fight win streak. We all know about it. Looked good against Dan Hooker, but Dan Hooker coming to 145. He dropped Allen. Just couldn't hold his chin because of the weight cut, in my opinion. And then you got Calvin Kattar coming off a loss over Josh Emmett, but really, was it a loss? Really, was it a loss? Calvin's boxing is superb. I just wish he would go a little more. And that's the problem with Allen, or that's not the problem with Allen. That's the problem you're going to have with Allen is Allen goes. His boxing is good. It's not great. It's improving. His jab is good. He boxed up Gilbert Melendez pretty well, but that was Gilbert Melendez at the end of his career. But his hands looked good. He looked aggressive as fuck against Hooker, but he left himself open. Calvin Kattar's slick, man. If Arnold Allen gets a little too aggressive with the hands, he'll get caught with a counter quick. However, I think Arnold Allen mixes things up really good. I think that's why he is 9-0, and he's got this hype around him. And the winner, if he wins, he might fight Volkanovski or at least get an interim shot, whatever happens with Volkanovski at 55. But I'm just not there on Allen. I never have been. And I've been there on Kattar, right? He got boxed up against Max Holloway. Showed incredible heart, never gave up. Competitive, close fight, which I thought he won against Josh Emmett, one of the hardest hitters of the division. Took some good shots. My only concern with this fight is if Arnold Allen decides to really grapple heavy. Have we seen that out of Kattar? He's incredibly athletic. How is he off his back? Can he get up off his back? He's got good cardio, but how's that going to tax him? I love this fight because I don't know what's going to happen, but I've been singing Calvin Kattar's praises for a long time. This is a nuts on your table. I'm taking Kattar fight. Slimeball parlay candidate as well. Give me Calvin Kattar to get it done from Massachusetts. All right, Slimeball parlay time. I've teased it enough. We're coming at you. Coming at you loud and proud. Then I'll get to the locks. There's a Slimeball parlay plus 295. Dustin Jacoby, Calvin Kattar, Christian Rodriguez. That doesn't lose. I know people are going to go, Calvin Kattar. You know, a lot of people are probably on Roundtree as well. I'm not confident in this. I'm not going to lie to you and be like, this is a winner. We're winning. La, 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 la. No, I'm nervous for this for sure. Plus 295. I will share this on social media. Get one last look. We got Dustin Jacoby. We got Calvin Kattar. We got Christian Rodriguez. And that, boys, is your slime ball parlay. Let's get to the locks.
Mortal lock is Dustin Jacoby.
The Mortal Lock Demon just told you that Dustin Jacoby is your lock. I really came to just liking him by decision here, man. I just think he's going to be outpoint, outskill Khalil. Maybe catch him in that third. Listen, I've been burned by Khalil Roundtree. I can't get the right guy right, so maybe fade me. But again, the way I see it, I feel like I'm seeing the board well. I'm going to go with Dustin Jacoby. My dog lock.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, this is Dog.
Okay, that's it, dog. It's going to be Andre Arlovski. It was a toss-up between Roman Dolidze and Andre Arlovski, but Andre Arlovski get a squeak out of decision again. He's going to show off that newly minted fucking chin, and he's going to squeak out a decision at plus 190 dog money. Woo! Woo! I love it, love it, love it, love it. And then send him home, baby. Woo! Get him out of here. Send him home. He's not signed forever, but Josh Frem. I mean, I can't trust Trishawn Gore's chin. When I look at this card, I don't see a ton of finishes off the top. Acosta could maybe, but again, I'm going to go Frem, flying knee, something like that, kick to the head. Fucking Trishawn Gore's tiny head off his shoulders. All right, boys, that was it. That was a fun show. Felt like I had good energy. Thank you to the podcast juice. Feeling a million times better. I'm glad all the family life stuff is getting set away. And the one thing I haven't talked about, I shared it twice on social media because I'm a little fucking kid and I'm so excited. Let's go to the big shot. Let's go to the big shot. You get all of me. Going to Vegas December 9th for UFC 282. You guys know that. Booked my hotel already, which doesn't mean shit, right? Booked it. Circus Sports, let's go. Tickets came on sale today if you're a Fight Club pre-sale member, which I wasn't, because I remember years ago looking at it and it was like $200. I'm like, I'd go to, they never come by me. I'm not going to go. $85 now. You get a t-shirt, you get a letter from Dana White, which really isn't from Dana White, and then you get like access to a form. And you get pre-sale tickets. So I hopped on right at 1 o'clock, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 o'clock my time. And I'm getting, my buddy and I are going. Steve, my buddy, I love him. Best friends since second grade. Our dream bucket list item has been going to a fight in Vegas since we were teenagers. And then life happens. And then obviously we're young in our 20s. We didn't have money, yada, yada, yada. So he texted me this morning because, we're going and I was telling him, and I shout out Heidi Dean, by the way. I reached out to Heidi Dean. She sent me a link to get some tickets as well. I hate asking for favors. I had to ask her for a favor. And she came through. She's the absolute fucking best, Heidi Dean. And I'm going to give her a big hug when I see her in Vegas as well. So anyway, I get to the pre-sale things, and my wife had tried to buy Adele tickets one time. And I know there's a lot of bots and there's a lot of people buying and reselling, whatever. So my buddy texted me today and was like, dude, I'm willing to go a couple G's on these tickets. And if you ain't got it right now, I'll cover you, because that's how serious I want to go. I said, okay, fuck. So I get on at 1 o'clock, right? And they won't let you pick your seats. They give you T-Mobile Arena and they go, what do you want? And I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to go $400 seats. Nope, not available. What do you want? So I hit best available, and it sends me to a screen, and it was like row F, or excuse me, it was like section F or 7 or whatever, what it was, row B. And it was like $600 each or $500 each, $575 each. You have 3 minutes to buy. I'm like, okay, yeah. My buddy gave me his credit card. I'm fucking typing it in real quick. Won't work. I kept trying, it won't work. And then it refreshes me and it goes to a different lesser tickets. And I was like, well, fuck, we need tickets. Try to buy that. It won't work. They keep selling before I can get a hold of them, right? So then it goes to a screen where they're $750 each. And I text my buddy, he's like, do it. And I fucking had it all set up, bought them, got them. Woo! 4 seats, baby. 4 seats. Section B, row N, seat 3 and 4. I am going to be schmoozing with celebrities. Hey, Chuck Zito, if you still go to the fights, you want it? I tweeted our Instagram now. If I see Steven Seagal, I'll fight him. That's a promise. I'll give my phone to my buddy. Aikido, nothing. Aikido, this dick, bitch. I'll fight Steven Seagal. All right, that's the show. I'm jacked up. I think that's another reason why I'm so fucking jacked up. Got those tickets. I didn't think I was going to get them. Unbelievable. MMA Takes podcast on all audio platforms and YouTube. Did I say that right? I think so. And at Brian Petrie MMA on all social media. Hit me up, follow me. Let's have a good time. If you're going to be in Vegas, then let's go. Let's party. Let's do it. I don't drink, but maybe I'll drink. I don't know. We'll see, away from the kids. You don't know what's going to happen. Let's go.